Hi everyone, it's Raina. So this video is if you have your natal Mars forming a conjunction with the Ascendant. I want to give a shout out to cafeastrology.com where I got some information that I am going to be putting in my own words. But one thing that they kind of differentiated is whether or not the person has Mars in the first house or, as they call it, behind the Ascendant in the 12th. And they said that this will, play a role in how it manifests, how this influence manifests, but they didn't spell it out. I'm looking at it. I tend to skim through things anyway, but I don't see anything where they talked about it in the 12th house. The only place where they actually mentioned Mars in the first or the 12th is talking about famous people. They just mentioned some famous people who have it. Like, for instance, Harry Belafonte has Mars behind Ascendant, and it's in Gemini, the conjunction. But, and there are other people too. So, anyway, oh, and John Denver. Well, that's interesting because John Denver was such a talented musician and songwriter, but he had substance abuse issues, and his Mars was behind the Ascendant, so that means it was in the 12th house. I'm assuming when they say behind it, they're talking about the 12th house. Yeah, of course it is. It would have to be the 12th house. So Mars in the 12th it can be addiction, the house of self undoing. So anyway, I think how I would differentiate it is if you have Mars in the first house, your drive and your assertive qualities will be front and center. When somebody has Mars in the 12th house, even if it doesn't form a conjunction with the Ascendant, just in the 12th at all, they will tend to be passive aggressive because one aspect of Mars is the way that you deal with anger. So if somebody has Mars in the 12th, they may sublimate their anger and take it out on themselves. And so sometimes substance abuse is actually the person abusing themselves, doing something self-destructive. Why? Maybe they're angry at someone or something and they can't express it. They don't feel safe in doing so, so they just take it out on themselves. So this could also be the way that if Mars is in your 12th house, even if it does form a conjunction with the Ascendant, it could still be that you tend to do things indirectly and you like to work behind the scenes. So there might be a slight more timidity in terms of how you go about things and how you express your displeasure with things. That's the only way I could really see the difference. So in any case, I mean, we'll just talk about the general traits. Like I said, this could be very much like the Aries rising personality type. And I just found where they mentioned the 12th house. They said the difference is that when Mars is in the first house, the person feels that they have the freedom to express themselves openly. And then in the 12th, they're more inhibited with that. So that makes a lot of sense. That's kind of basically what I said. So anyway, I think one thing is with these types of people is that they will tend to have a lot of energy. And there's an active quality. I would even dare say that this could be hyperactive because you might always need to be in in motion, doing something, not sitting still. And that can work out. I mean, if somebody is a workaholic and they work long hours, that might be the kind of person that it just doesn't get to you. Or maybe you even like to have a second job so that you have somewhere else to go, or a lot of hobbies and you just are constantly on the go. They use the word feisty to describe um, these Mars ascendant types of individuals. And, feistiness can just be a lively quality, but what they're talking about is somebody who is quick to take offense about something. So that kind of defensive posture can be front and center with this type of person. Now, I think that if somebody is insecure and has this conjunction, that it's going to show up as the belief that other people are often trying to insult you, to demean you in some way. When I think of particular rising signs, I would say Cancer can be hypersensitive. So for Cancer, for Mars ascendant Cancers, be careful about this, about taking things too personally. All of these types of people can be quite rash. In other words, they jump to conclusions right away because that's the Mars energy, is immediacy. Not waiting around, not having any kind of patience, just like bam. And that's problematic because with Mars, you're talking about somebody who is taking action. And if you take action instantaneously, what's that saying? You act you act in haste and repent in leisure, or something like that. I don't know if that's Shakespeare. The nature can be impulsive. They are very reactive and aggressive, but also courageous. You can be a natural leader, but if you are too pushy, that will not go over very well with people. You're very independent. You take action so you don't have that inertia. And these are great qualities. It's just that impatience. I know sometimes when I'm dealing with people and I get a sense that they might have Aries rising or maybe this type of conjunction, that they're always like, if you try to deal with them, let's say they work in a store or something, it's like they just want you to cut to the chase, explain what you want right away. And it's just like you could tell they're just like chomping at the bit. They don't like to hear long drawn out explanations. They might be kind of terse in their speech because they just want to cut to the chase. And even though you are naturally confident, because there is a tendency to have that fighting spirit, to either want to defend something or to go on the attack when it relates to something that can be counterproductive for you getting what you want from other people, because they may find you too overbearing, too aggressive. There's a difference between being assertive and being aggressive. Being assertive doesn't mean you're trying to push somebody around. You're just asking for your needs to be met. But you're not demanding. It's also good to preserve your energy so that you're not burning the candle at both ends, because you do have a lot of natural um, energy and you tend to be inexhaustible, but everyone has to rest and you don't want to overdo it. Okay, well, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.